Good morning, students, and welcome to the continuation of the math lesson from earlier today. And remember, we are learning about the compensation strategy. Thank you, Ashley, for sharing in the Solve and Share. And I have your I can statement written right here. We are on page, the I can statement is on page 105. And we are going to be doing all pages from 105 to 108. And the I can statement is on page 105, and you can read it with me. I can break apart addends and combine them in different ways to make numbers that are easier to add mentally. Okay, so addends is one of your vocabulary words. So is compensation strategy, and so is the word sum. So the compensation strategy is what you're learning today, and that means you are moving around the values in the addends to make them easier, and I like to say friendlier numbers, friendlier to add. And the addends are right here. They are the two values that you add together in your equation, and your answer is the sum, and that's your total. So addends are the two values you add together, the two numbers, and the sum is the total in your addition equation. All right, so let's get started with the compensation strategy. You can follow along in the guided practice. You might need your hundreds chart to help you. I have a big one, but I also have a small one here I can model with. You might need some counters. You'll definitely need your whiteboard and your dry erase marker and your something to erase with. And you'll need a pencil and your workbook. So you can turn to page 106. And I will read the guided practice. We will do the two equations together, and then we'll do one practice together on page 107. Okay, so it says, guided practice. Use compensation to make numbers that are easier to add. Then solve and show your work. So number one, the first problem, they're asking you to solve 17 plus 9, and they want you to make it easier and quicker to solve. So when you use the compensation strategy, you're compensating, and to compensate means to the 17. Now I have 20, and I have 6 here. So I have a new equation. My equation is 20 plus 6. Now the values are different, but the total is going to be the same. Because 20 plus 26, if we look at our hundreds chart, is going to be 26. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you start at 20 and you go across, and when you go across you add 1 and you return sweep and you get to 26. Now because there is a 0 in the ones place value, it makes it easier to add, because anything you add to 0 is the number that you're adding to it, right? So this is how you compensate. This is how you use the compensation strategy. You're making numbers friendlier to add and easier. that the 9 is really close to 10. And you can minus 1 from the 17 and you end up with 16. And you can add 1 to the 9 to make a 10. And now you have 16 into 20. And by doing that, we move 4 over here. And then we have 20. Bring our plus sign down. And then you're going to have 4 less here, so you have to minus 4. And you'll have 10. So now we have a much easier equation to solve. 20 plus 10. And we go to our hundreds grid. And we know that one row down is a whole group of 10. So we go 20, 30. 20 plus 10 is 30. So 16 plus 14 is also 30. Okay, so what I did was I compensated. I used the compensation strategy. I took 4 from the second addend and added it to the first addend and came up with 20. And then I minus 4 from the 14 and I got 10. And then I added these two values. The numbers are different, but the values are the same because the total is 30. So the values, 20 plus 10, the total is the same. 20 plus 10 equals 30. Each of the values are different, but I moved them around and I came up with a different equation that also equals 30. Okay, so we're going to 3 on page 107. And I'm going to help you just a little bit. 33 plus 19. Now remember, you have to show your work in the workbook. So this is how you're going to show your work. Because in the guided practice, they do it for you. But on page 107, you're supposed to do it on your own. 9 is very close to the next 10. So I'm going to make it a 10, the next 10, and I'm going to add it and make it 20. So if I take a 1 over there and plus it, what do I have to do to the 33? Think. That's correct. I have to move from the 33. And then I have 32. I bring down my plus sign, and now you can add it, and it's a lot quicker to add because you put a 0 in the ones place value in the second addend. So go ahead and add it up. Find 32 on your number grid. And what do? When you go down a row, it's a 10. So we have 42, 52. So our answer is 52. So that means if 32 plus 20 is 52, then 33 plus 19 is also 52. So this is how you show your work on that space in your workbook page. Okay, so today you learned that And it means you're going to move some of the values around to make it friendlier to add. Okay, and finish the workbook pages up to 108. And on the bottom, assessment practice, problem 11, please take a picture of this and upload it to this page in Seesaw. See you again for math later this week.